Welcome to Equal Ground Headlines. I am Samuel B. Williams, bringing you balanced coverage on our top stories of the day. In our next story, technology and policy collide. If you value this kind of in-depth reporting, please consider subscribing to our channel. Now, let's examine how the White House is handling artificial intelligence. The U.S. government is charging full speed ahead on AI innovation and cutting back some rules in the process. This week, the White House ordered every federal agency to name a chief AI officer and develop a strategy to expand AI use in government operations. It's an ambitious push to infuse artificial intelligence into everything from administrative tasks to national security. But in doing so, the Trump administration is also rescinding a set of Biden-era directives that were meant to place guardrails on AI. A new memo from the Office of Management and Budget, OMB, lays out the approach. It tells agencies to adopt a forward-leaning and pro-innovation stance on AI, removing what it calls unnecessary bureaucratic hurdles. Concretely, agencies have 6 months to craft an AI strategy for their department, identifying where AI can streamline work and how to integrate it enterprise-wide. They are also instructed to maximize the use of American-made AI technologies, a nod to boosting domestic AI industry and perhaps data security. This marks a stark shift from the previous administration's tone. President Biden had issued orders focused on AI safety, ethics, and transparency. One Biden executive order required agencies to adopt safeguards to protect people's rights in AI use and ensure AI acquisitions met certain standards. Another placed restrictions on buying or using certain AI systems until they were proven safe and unbiased. Those policies aim to prevent scenarios like AI algorithms unfairly denying someone a service or making opaque decisions that affect citizens. The Trump administration has now scrapped those mandates. In fact, President Trump already revoked a 2023 Biden order that would have required AI developers to share data with the government to mitigate risks. The philosophy now is clearly that the government shouldn't slow down AI adoption with red tape. We will no longer impose unnecessary bureaucratic restrictions on innovative American AI in the executive branch, the memo declares. So what does this mean? Essentially, federal agencies are being encouraged to experiment freely with AI tools to improve efficiency. Think AI to automate paperwork, answer routine inquiries, help process data, maybe even assist in policy drafting. The hope is that AI can make government services faster and more cost-effective. For example, an AI system might help the IRS flag potential tax fraud faster, or the VA schedule veterans' appointments more efficiently. The potential benefits are huge, officials say, from cutting wait times to catching errors that humans miss. However, without the Biden-era safeguards, some are concerned about oversight and ethics. The prior guidelines were there to ensure AI doesn't trample privacy or civil rights. By removing explicit requirements for transparency, there's a risk that agencies deploy AI decisions that citizens can't easily understand or challenge. Imagine an AI decides eligibility for a benefit and makes a mistake. Will people know? And who's accountable? The new directive doesn't dwell on those questions. Its message is full steam ahead. Inside agencies, naming chief AI officers could be a game changer. These would be officials specifically responsible for driving AI integration and managing AI risks within each department. Interestingly, Biden's order had already called for such positions, so in a way Trump's team is continuing that part, but with a very different mandate. Now those AI officers will be tasked less with compliance and more with innovation and results. They'll likely become key power players coordinating between tech companies, supplying AI solutions, and federal bureaucrats. The OM memo does nod to some caution. It talks about implementing minimum risk management practices for high-impact uses of AI. This suggests agencies should at least assess risks if an AI tool is making weighty decisions. Say, anything affecting health, safety, or legal outcomes for people. There's also a mention of developing a generative AI policy soon, which implies the government is considering how to handle AI that creates content, text, images, etc. An area rife with concerns over misinformation and copyright. Still, compared to the previous approach, the tone is markedly different. One official described it as removing the training wheels. The administration believes the technology has advanced and America is in the global AI race, especially against China. So it's time to unleash innovation and not be overly shackled by hypothetical worries. As evidence, they point out how AI applications like ChatGPT soared in popularity, and agencies risk falling behind if they can't use such tools while everyone else does. Critics, including some AI ethicists and civil liberties advocates, caution that moving fast and breaking things can be dangerous when it comes to AI in government. Without strong guidelines, we might see, for instance, an AI system denying loan relief or flagging travelers as security risks based on flawed data or bias. The consequences for citizens could be serious. They urge that, even as we embrace AI, there should be transparency about when AI is being used and avenues for people to appeal AI-driven decisions. It's unclear how much of that will be implemented under the new framework. Notably, the private sector is pleased. Companies working on AI solutions for government are eager to pitch their products. The White House also issued a separate directive to streamline AI procurement, telling agencies to focus on interoperability and to acquire AI efficiently. In other words, cut the procurement red tape too, so agencies can buy the AI tools they need quickly. This could open the floodgates for AI contracts and partnerships. For context, this push comes at a time when AI is a hot topic globally. Other governments are debating regulations. The EU, for instance, has a draft AI Act with strict rules. The US under Trump is clearly taking a different path. Promote innovation first, deal with problems later if they arise. Trump officials argue that too many constraints will only ensure the US falls behind in the AI race, potentially ceding leadership to competitors who won't hesitate to use AI extensively. In summary, Washington is embracing AI with enthusiasm, betting it can revolutionize government efficiency. The administration has told agencies to ramp up AI use across the board, tossing out previous cautionary rules in favor of a pro-innovation approach. Whether this leap unleashes a new era of government innovation, or creates unforeseen issues, or both, will be a key storyline to watch. For now, Uncle Sam is hiring AI bosses and greenlighting algorithms to take on more tasks, a clear sign that in 2025, even the federal bureaucracy isn't immune to the AI revolution.